What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Will here from Medicine from the Soul. And today's topic, I'll be talking about why I left religion and how I freed myself from religion and what you can do as well. So let's get started. Growing up, I always had this little. I went to church as a kid. I didn't really come from a religious family, but it was religious in the sense of God. It was like I know everybody believed in God. They prayed to God. They talked to God. That kind of thing. And my family, they used to go to church around Christmas, mainly holidays. So I always kind of, it was like I believing in God was the only option. That's just what it was. And I remember at the time, I used to always have these questions. Where did he come from? Who wrote the book? Like, where did shit come from? It was always that question. And, I was met with the usual answers. Oh, don't question God. Oh, you want to know about God? Just get in there and read the whole Bible. You better read it. And it was always something that it was always like a unanswered question that was always there. So I always had those questions. And then when you ask that question, sometimes you was always met with God is the creator of the universe. You can't question him. He can do what he wants. It was always this weird ass shit that would go on. So I sucked it up, got into it, and I remember like I didn't really start going to church on my own until I was a teenager. I became a teenager, and at the time of my life, a lot of my friends was gangbangers. So at the time, everybody was gangbangers. I didn't really want to go to the path that my friends was going. I started seeing my friends die at an early age. I seen guys get life sentences at 18, 19 years old. I saw one guy get 60. I went to school with this guy. I saw him get 65 years at 18 years old. So I'm seeing all this around me. So I really didn't want to go that path. So I went to church. I really locked in. Like, I don't want to do that. And at the time, it served a purpose in my life. But it was always this nagging question. It was like a force kind of thing in a way because it was like, well, I don't want to die. I don't want to go to jail. So it was always like this forceful kind of thing. It was always like this thing where it was like, just do it. If you want to be a good person in life, you got to believe this. If you want to be a good man, you have to read the Bible. You got all this. And for a time, it was kind of like, well, if I want to be good in life, I just got to do it. Don't I? And I used to always tell myself, like, you know what? That comes a point in a man's life where he got to do what he don't want to do. That was the attitude I had at it. That was the attitude and the approach I had when it came to being in religion. So I went to church. At the time, it served a purpose for me. And I really enjoyed it at the time. At that time, it was pretty cool. But I will always go back and forth with this like emptiness. Like it got to be something else out here. It got to be something. Like how did this come? It was always a question that I could never get to the bottom of. So fast forward, I went to church, the Christian church, from 17 all the way to 30. I want to say till I was like 29 years old. So 2020 happened. And if you guys ain't familiar, the C word happened. We was in quarantine. And at that time, was going to this church. So from like 17, so I was like 17 to like 2017, I was living in, Chicago, and I moved. So I left this church I was a part of. I was there for a long time. So I left this church, and I kind of like strayed away from church for a while. And then from 2017 to 2020, I was kind of like still, I was like in and out. I just didn't. I was like, just like I don't really want to do this. But 2020 happened, and then at that time in 2020, the C word happened. We was in quarantine. I remember it vividly because, like, at that time, it was a lot of fear going on. It was a lot of fear going on. Everybody was quarantined. It was a lot of fear-based content. Everybody was scared because they thought the world was going to end. There was messages on TV. People buying up all the toilet paper. They getting all the food, storing food. They saying the world is finna end. The apocalypse finna happen. And just like everybody else, I got scared. I was afraid. So what I did, with me being in fear, what it led me to do, I got involved with this doomsday cult. At the time of this guy was talking, and he was talking about storing food, buying land, which are really good things. Buying land and storing food, that's not a bad thing to do. It's pretty cool in that sense. You know, we talked about living a minimalist lifestyle, living off the land. That was beautiful, you know. And then I was listening to that kind of content, and it morphed into like Hebrew Israelite doctrine. So this guy that was talking, he was very charismatic, and at the time I was dealing with a lot of fear. So I ended up getting suckered into this stuff, and at the end it was pretty cool. You know, it was it's ex NFL players in there. It was it was good at first. You know, it was at the time I'm at home quarantining, and on top of that, I just ended a relationship. So I'm hurting. I'm coming out of a narcissistic, abusive relationship, emotionally abusive relationship. So I was basically looking for help. You know, I ain't had nobody I can really go to. My father had died literally after that, so it was like I really didn't have no strong man to reach out to. And the guys that was at the church at that time, those guys were soft. So it was like I really didn't have nobody to turn to. So it's a couple of guys that went through the same thing I went through. So I connected. I met some guys, and at the beginning it was pretty cool, man. It was fucking dope. We had a good time. It was cool. It was like the first little year, love bombing, and then I started getting closer and started hanging around more. I started to see the narcissistic bullshit. It was a lot of manipulation, gaslighting, control, all kind of backhanded ass shit. And I'm like, I don't want to really get down with this. I really don't. Hey, this is not like, wait a minute. I got to do all of this to be a good person. I got to do all of this. So some of the terms and conditions, you had to, because they had like this little land thing. And you had to like, if you wanted to be a part, you had to sell your house, and you had to like basically go through all these hoops and hurdles to prove you was loyal to the code. At the time, I didn't know it was a code, and it seemed good. It was like it was the properties looked nice and it looked like friendly people. It was friendly, but then it's like after the honeymoon phase went down, I started dealing with the devaluing, a lot of spiritual abuse, a lot of just they was trying to control everything you fucking do. It got to a point to where it was a point to where it got to a point to where I lost my damn thought. It got to a point to where they wanted everything. It was so goddamn strict. Everything you did was a sin. Hey, like if you lived in the community, you had to get half of your paycheck. You had to give all, no fucking half. They give you that. So you had to basically brainwash yourself into that kind of shit. Then on top of that, you couldn't eat certain foods. It was, the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, that racist ass shit. But it was the Hebrew Israelite code I was in. It had white people too, and it was some cool friends, but it was very controlling. They wanted to control your whole fucking life. You wanted to get married, you just couldn't get married because you wanted to get married. Oh fuck no, you got to get permission, and then they got to see it. It came up with all this unnecessary standards. So to be considered worthy as a man, to be a part of that community or that church, because it's like they had it set up where you could come and visit, but you really wasn't part of the whole. So it got to a point to where they used to put you through all these unnecessary hoops to get you to for you to prove you was loyal, and that was complete bullshit. Like the shit, man. Hey, they talk to you any kind of fucking way. And I started coming to this point, like, man, wait a minute. I got to go through all of this to be considered a good person. I got to go through all of this for this so-called God to love me. And I started getting tired of the shit. But once again, all the rules, all this, I did this because A, I was in fear. And then secondly, I did this because I felt like in order to be a good man with morals, I had to do this. I had to believe in this religion. I had to do this. Hey, we couldn't eat certain foods, shrimps, pork, a bunch of other shit in the Bible you can't eat. And I started getting real frustrated. It was like, dude, this shit here, I'm starting to hate this. I'm starting to literally hate this. So I started pulling back. I started moving. I'm like, man, you know what? Hey, I'm not really feeling this shit. So fast forward, this is how all this took place in 2022. It was going good. And I started pulling back because life started getting hard. I started dealing with things. And I started struggling. Now, this struggling that I was dealing with, it ended up being a blessing in disguise. Because I was prepping to move close to this place. I was prepping to join this. And it was a blessing in disguise. Because while I was prepping to change my life to do this, what ended up happening, I ended up going through a spiritual awakening. I didn't even know what that term was at the time, but I knew I was going through it. I kind of knew that was against the doctrine, but I'm like, this, this shit, this is familiar. So what had happened, I had lost my home. I know I talked about that in other videos. I lost my home, lost everything, and at this time, mind you, these were supposed to be my spiritual brothers in Christ. So I'm reaching out to them like, hey man, hey, I'm suffering. I'm homeless. I lost everything. I lost it all. And these motherfuckers was heartless. They didn't give a fuck about shit. All they was caring about, well, you stop coming around, and we got the feast coming. It was Feast of Tabernacles. So it was like, you know what? You got Feast of Tabernacles coming. Is you coming to Feast of Tabernacles? I'm like, bro, I can't come. And then they played like this little mind game with my ass. I'm like, hey, I can't come. Well, it started turning into threats. Like, well, if you can't come, you're done. Hey, like you just can't. If you can't come, then you're done. I didn't know they was actually saying. I'm thinking like, well, if I can't come to the feast, we'll meet back up and all this. This motherfucker was talking about, hey, you done with the ministry. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm like, hey, I'm homeless, dude. I'm living at a hotel. Don't know where the fuck I'm at. I mean, don't know where I'm gonna be living next week from that. And I'm like, dog, I need, hey. And then what was so crazy? I wasn't even asking for money. I'm asking for love. Like, hey, I need prayers. I need brotherhood. All them motherfuckers was heartless. And then at the same, and I'm not making this video out of a victim mindset. Not at all. Hey, it worked out in my favor. Hey, I recovered. I got me a place. Hey, everything got lost at that time. I got back 10 times better. Everything. I have true abundance. So this video is not a victimization video. This video, I'm making this because, I'm giving examples of how religion is, and so I'm making this video for a specific purpose. This is not victimhood. This ain't no, I don't want nobody to call me from that place and say, I'm over it. This is like me just giving my example. So I go through that. I go through that whole process. And they basically just left me, and I was basically left to die. I was just left to the dogs, just like, and I'm left to the fucking dogs, just like, hey, everybody in the coat, they stopped talking to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dog, I thought we was bros. Like, I'm going through a tragedy. Something happened in my life I have zero control over. And you niggas mad at me because I couldn't come to a feast? Then they start telling me shit like, well, God mad at you. He punishing you. I'm like, man, what the fuck? How the hell God is punishing me? And I was faithful as I can be with this religion. I kept feast days. If I didn't join it with them, I was faithful. Even when I was left by myself, I kept that faith hard. So I left that, went through it by myself, and I was on my own. I was keeping the Hebrew Israelite religion by myself. So I had some brothers come up because at that time, all the religious abuse that I dealt with at that place, I was wondering, like, man, what in the hell in the Bible? Where in the hell in the Bible did I got to deal with this kind of bullshit? Where in the hell is it okay for a so-called pastor, elder, deacon, for you niggas to think you could treat me like this? Where in the fuck in this book does it say that shit? So I started digging into the Bible. So at the time, I met up with some brothers. It was some brothers that they had left that cult too. So they was seeing the bullshit about the cult, and we started linking up. We had like a little group we was talking in, and that was good for a while. It helped me out, but the fucking questions started lingering because I started wondering, like, yo, this religion, this is like, this religion. As I started going deep into the Bible, I started to realize, like, this Yahweh character we believe in, this motherfucker is a narcissist, bro. Like, this shit is straight narcissistic. Like, this is bullshit. So I started having questions. I started bringing these questions to some of the brothers in the group. And in the group, it was one brother that was really, he was there, but I could kind of tell he was kind of scared to he a lot of the things I was finding, like, yo, this don't make sense, this ain't real. He knew, but he wasn't strong enough to actually lead a religion. So we having those questions. I start asking questions again. Where this come from? This don't feel right. And a lot of the brothers in the group, they kind of like wasn't really having that. So, and people were like, oh, just read the Bible, man. You know, you have questions about religion in the Bible. The common thing Christians say, because even, Christians say, reason why I say Christian, I was a Hebrew Israelite, but what I realized, Hebrew Israelites, your ass is Christian. You just in denial. If you believe in Jesus Christ, your ass is Christian. So anyway, I got to this point, and I'm like, you know what? I'm I'm like, yo, I'm starting to like getting turned. I'm finding out shit in the Bible. I'm reading it for myself. I'm starting to get turned off. So I'm talking to the brothers. I'm like, hey man, let's talk about it, man. That's a couple of brothers talked to me, but a lot of guys was getting offended. A lot of them getting quiet. I'll just read the whole Bible. God, the Holy Spirit to guide you. So I got to this point to where I got so fed up with it, I cut all of them off because it wasn't the fact of me being an asshole, but I'm like, hey, I'm finna really dig into this Bible. Now, when I did this, I was not trying to leave religion. I was not trying to leave God. I was actually trying to learn harder before I can stay. When that process came, so I cut everybody off. I had met a couple of mentors that started reaching out to me from the same faith. And what I did, I cut everybody off. Blocked. It's time to go. Because I'm like, you know what? It is really time for me. I've been told my whole life when it comes to this shit right here, what to believe about it, how to believe about it. I'm like, I'm finna scrub all that shit away. I'm about to fucking go into this book. And I'm about to actually see what this shit say. I'm about to read it for what it is. This is going to be just a regular story. I'm going to take the importance out this shit and I'm going to let it go. So, disclaimer. This channel, this video is not for, I should have said this in the beginning, but oh well. But this, if you made it this far, if you love your Jesus, if you love your Bible, this is not for you. That's what I'm finna reveal. So you can go ahead, click off. I'm not trying to convert you to anything, but this shit here finna get real. And by the way, if you like what you hear, hey, like, subscribe, comment, let me know. But anyway, let's get into it. So what I felt when I read the whole, I read the whole Bible, and I started looking at certain shit, like one of the things that really stuck out, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, two different authors. Like, whoa, wait a minute, what? I started finding out. That Moses didn't actually write this shit. Then I started looking at the character of this Yahweh character. Like this shit, like this dude is like a this dude is wicked. This dude is evil, man. All this damn killing and murdering. Like this shit is psycho, man. Other thing I noticed, this is because we told the Bible this is the true, authentic word of God. Ain't no errors. This is beautiful. This is this. This is that. We told that as kids. There is no errors in the Bible. It's perfect. Man, please. I found out the Bible got many different authors. Then this is what crushed my faith to the whole. I started realizing about this Jesus character. This character right here. This character named Jesus, man. Hey, it was like I found out that he wasn't the only Messiah. It was like it's a whole bunch of Messiah stories, certain Messiahs that died and rose again. And a lot of them, it happened before the Bible was created. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I suppose, hey, wait a minute. So I'm like, wait a minute. He ain't the only, because they tell you he rose from the dead and came back. It's multiple. It's many people that was before this Jesus character that died and rose again and came back. Then I found out about other creation stories. I found out the Mesopotamian creation story with Enlil and Enki. Mind you, this is 1,000 years before the Bible. So I'm like, wait a minute. I read that and I'm like, this sounds like what's in the Bible. I started reading. I started studying ancient civilization. Ancient civilization. It was multiple. Almost every tribe or people, they had their own creation stories. Mind you, all of this is thousands before the Bible. So I'm like, wait a minute. Then I came across the Epic of Gilgamesh. I'm like, no, bro, mind you, at this point, my faith was just slowly dying. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm finding multiple books. I'm finding like so much stuff. I started studying Greek mythology. And I'm like, this sounds just like the shit that's in the Bible. And mind you, when I'm going through this process, this was a scary ass process. I'm like, yo, but I started, because mind you, I had a spiritual awakening. And I started getting into my intuition started telling me, like, hey, Will, it is time. It is time to start. It's time to look at this. It is time to start putting the pieces together. And I ignored that call, but it was like, I'm like, man, I don't want to be an atheist. I don't want to be agnostic. I'm like, that's bad. But I had to do it because my conscience got to a point to where it wouldn't let me go. And then I started going to church. I'm starting to experience I start experiencing the same thing over and over. Manipulation, control. I'm like, spiritual abuse after spiritual abuse. People trying to control me to do shit. And when I did this, it was actually freeing and it was heartbreaking at the same time because it's like, wait a minute. Like, I've been told to live my whole life. This shit been forced on me since I was a kid. And like, you got me believing in this fucking shit? Like, this ain't even, nobody knows where this come from. And it's like the Bible, this is a regular fucking book. And the cult I was in, what they kind of did, they was the kind of people, they had all these unnecessary beliefs. In order to, it's a scripture in the Bible that they actually hold, say, what Jesus told the rich young ruler. if you want to follow me, sell everything you had. So I'm seeing people sell their homes. I'm seeing people in marriages, people abandoning children, all for this. And you can't. This ain't. Hey, this. There's no proof this shit exists. There's no proof this shit exists. Then I'm like, wait a minute. I started studying archaeology because I really wanted to know, like, yo, if I'm gonna base my whole life on this, I need to know what the fuck I believe. I can't keep blindly following shit, and I don't know what the fuck this means. So then it's like, no proof. There's no proof this shit happened. They can't find none of the characters. I'm like, wait a minute. So after finding that out, my faith died. And then what I had to deal with at the time, I'm like, you know what? If nobody can answer my question about this, I'm out. And I just left the faith. And what was so crazy, what was so unexpectedly, I ended up experiencing true freedom. It was liberating. Because now, one of the things that I dealt with as for being a Christian / Hebrew Israelite, whatever you want to call that, I couldn't be my true self. I was suppressing what I really like for a long time. I was always spiritual. I was into meditation. But I was told by Christians, this is witchcraft. I was into doing Kundalini. That's witchcraft. I was into doing, I love law of attraction, law of assumption. I used to read books about how our thoughts create reality. But I was told this was witchcraft. Now I'm able to go into topics I fucking love now. Like I could be myself. So I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I'm saying all this to say. Oh, let me finish before I go down that road. So it got to a point to where it was freeing. But I had a lot of fear because I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, hey, I got a lot of fear in me. I'm like, you know what? Because a lot of religious people, they tell you, they put so much fear on you. If you leave this Bible, you're going to hell. Your life is going to fall apart. So I started battling a lot of fear, and I'm like, okay. And mind you, I'm the only one in my family, my immediate family, that left it. So now I had to deal with all of this. People telling me like, "Oh, you going crazy, man. You going crazy. You doing too much." And I'm like, "No, man. I just want to know what I'm believing in. If I'm gonna go through all of this, get treated like this, don't I at least deserve to know what I'm investing my time in?" And I left that, and it became liberating. Now I can be my true self. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about apologizing for existing. It got to a point I hated fucking praying. I hated the Bible, man, because it got to a point like this shit is limited. And it got to a point to like, man, am I repenting just for being alive? And the goal of me making this video, if there is any one of you out there that is struggling, you going through the same process I'm going through. You're hurting. Hey, you want to walk away from this religion. You might come from you might be a pastor's child. You might see the same things I'm doing. Or it might be something that is calling you to investigate. I'm here to tell you, answer the call. Answer the call. Go and look up what this shit really means. And guess what? If you don't resonate with this and you feel like, but I want to be a good person in life, guess what? I'm here to tell you, you can be a good person without this shit, man. If you're a woman or man, you can be a good person without this. You can live a great life without this. You can have good morals without this. You don't have to believe in God. You don't. You don't have to believe. You could be an atheist and still have a beautiful life. You can be agnostic, have a beautiful life. You don't have to keep this damn book. You don't have to be being manipulated, man. You don't have to have nobody taking your money. And for the cult that I was a part of, y'all don't gotta be there. You don't gotta keep that damn Hebrew Israelite shit. You don't have to be there. It's life outside of that. I'm telling you now because I left that place. I heard people telling me, I left the Hebrew Israelite and the Bible. I had people telling me, oh, you finna go to hell. Your life finna get bad. I'm living in abundance. Everything about my life is abundant since I left that. I found my purpose. It's okay to leave that. I'm here to tell you there is life outside of religion. You don't have to believe that. Some of you guys are struggling with your sexuality because I've seen this happen a lot. I seen guys and women that was in religion and they wanted to get help about that. One dude was gay and he wanted to be, this happened on 2 occasions, 2 different locations. He wanted to realize what was going on. And both of these pastors rejected this young man. And this man took his own life. And I seen this happen with a woman. She wanted to love who she wanted to love and she took her own life. And I'm here to tell you, if you're that kind of person, that's what you, hey, and you are who you are. You can be yourself. You can love who you want to love. If you're a man that love man, do it. If you're a woman that love women, do it. You can be yourself. You don't have to do this. You don't have to be programmed to doing this shit, man. You don't have to do, hey, you don't have to go down this road. You can still live a great life. You don't need a book telling you that it's wrong to kill. Because people always say, well, you need God's law. No, I don't. I don't kill people because I don't want nobody killing me. I don't steal because I don't want nobody stealing from me. So if you are having questions, you want to leave, but you scared, I understand. Hey, hell, you ain't got to worry about having the hell. That's, hey, go look at where that came from. Because I don't want to make this, hey, I don't want to tell you everything because I want you to go out there. I want you to go out there and don't take my word, read it for yourself. You know? And guess what? I'm not bashing people who believe in religion. That's, hey, if you being a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite is causing you to be a good person, if it's causing you not to rape, not to be a murderer, stay there. If it's causing you to believe in Jesus and God and all, if it's causing you to be the best version of yourself, stay there. But I'm talking to the people that this don't resonate to. And hey, it's okay. It's okay to walk away. You might feel like you're alone, right? Some of y'all are going through spiritual awakeness, and right now, it's causing you to change your beliefs. It's causing you to change. It's causing you to quit. Like, I went through a spiritual awakening. It caused me to do this. You know what's scary? Some of you guys are probably going through dark nights of the soul and spirituality where you being called to hey, you don't feel right in church. You know the pastor lying to you. You know this shit is bullshit. And you being called to take on a new perspective. It's okay. You're not alone. I'm here right along with you. You know, hey, now let me let you know. When we make decisions, there are going to be things that we got to deal with. Now, some of you guys, you might lose you. Your mama might leave you. Your daddy they might disown you. Yeah, you might lose your kids. You might lose your best friend. Your wife might lose you. But I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. It's people out here, there's communities out here that'll walk you right through that. So if this is you and you feeling like that, it's okay to explore and it's okay to leave it. It's okay to leave. Hey, you're not a bad person because you don't agree with this. You're not a bad person because you're gay. You're not a bad person because you don't like this. You're not a bad person. You can still you can still leave a positive example on this earth without that. You can still go through things. You say, oh, what happened if something go bad? Okay, I still get through it. There's other ways. You can still be a good person. You don't need this. So if anybody out there that needs somebody to talk, if you and alone and you probably experience hate or you probably stuck in the cult and you probably one of them doomsday cults and you probably ain't got nobody to talk to. You stuck there, your money gone, you need somebody to reach out to. I'm gonna leave my email in the subscription or on my community post, and you can reach out to me. Hey, I'll make myself available for you. I can be an ear for you. All right. My name is Coach Will, and I'll see you in the next video. And comment, subscribe, and give me feedback. Give me feedback. Now, if you get to talking hateful, I'm gonna block your goddamn ass. I'm not finna go back and forth with you. I'm not about to play no fucking games with you. If you don't like the message, get the fuck on. This ain't for you. But if you wanna step away from this and you need somebody to guide you through this, I'm here for you. All right, I'm going. Bye.